I kind of took French on a whim. It was something that I had liked, that I thought I was good at least in high school, and so I wanted to take one class, and I was really surprised when I got into my first French class how excited I was about the topic, how exciting it was and how different it was than it had been in high school, where it was really just kind of, you know, a elective class that didn't matter a lot. In college, it was suddenly a way to have this understanding of the world that I had never had before, and look at a lot of the same things I was looking at in my English classes, a lot of literature, a lot of culture, a lot of writing, but through a completely sort of other lens.
Public policy and poli-sci, those were really my driving core passions, probably where I wanted to go with my career, but I saw French as something that could ally with those and support that, but I didn't need a major to accomplish the level of fluency that I need for the jobs that I'm looking at. And so having, getting a cultural base, understanding some of the history, getting my hands onto some literature, that was good for me, and so that's why the minor was perfect for me. I found that my French was totally up to par. I was able to engage my French peers very fully. I was able to engage French society very fully, get around Paris wherever I wanted to go, ask questions if I needed help, basics, go to the grocery store, order food at a restaurant, those are important parts of your life, and travel. The cultural literacy skills that I learned as a foreign language major at St. Mary's is definitely a huge part. It's made every international and really every interaction I've had, because even within the US you have a lot of diverse interactions, especially these days in this increasingly globalized world with people from different backgrounds, different cultures, and I think the skills I learned as a student at St. Mary's has really made that possible and easy. I am currently employed at a company called Equal Access, which is an international development NGO. We use media and communications, and primarily radio, for public education and women's rights purposes and youth empowerment throughout the developing world. I'm very fortunate. I attend the University of Maryland, College Park, their School of Public Policy, and right after graduation I began classes. So I am focusing my studies on environmental policy and international security and economic policy.
St. Mary's helped me in a very sort of direct sense in terms of my French language ability. I interact with radio producers in Chad, Burkina Faso, Niger, and soon to be Nigeria, in French via email, on Skype. I am sent the radio scripts for the upcoming programs in French, and I give them critical feedback on their messaging approach to behavior change, and how best to sort of encourage youth.
While I think I'll probably be in a primarily English-speaking role in my career, for most of my career at least, I think that wherever I go, it's going to have an international focus and a dimension, and that's something I'm very passionate about. I'm very passionate about travel as well, so I want to have a career where I can travel. And French is just a language, and that opens doors, and also a culture that opens doors, given that France does have, a history throughout the rest of the world in many places. So understanding that historical element and the cultural factors that might still be present in former colonies, that's a really important thing for me to understand. But also, having just being open to any foreign culture or language makes you care more about the identity of being a global citizen, and that's something I really prize.
I think the most important thing that I got out of my experiences in my French and my international languages and cultures classes was that ability to feel comfortable where I am, to be very open-minded in a way that enables me to sort of find my niche and be at home wherever I am.
The French program at St. Mary's really just connected to all of those aspects of my life and was able to get me out in the world.